The Terra Luna Classic ecosystem has some major developments underway right now, and we have some updates as to the Quarter 2 development plan. Let's dive into it. Okay, so first of all, this proposal just got submitted 3 hours ago, but before we dive into what this proposal is, I think it's worth noting that there are multiple different proposals going on right now as for Quarter 2 development plans. Now this is Quarter 2 Joint L1 Task Force proposal with amendments. So these are changes that have been made to that original L1 Task Force Quarter 2 proposal. And here's one of those alternative proposals that was submitted just an hour ago for an alternative L1 dev group. Let's start by diving into this proposal from LUNC Army from the L1 Task Force that we have been working with for the past quarter. Now this proposal outlines the fact that in Quarter 1, they accomplished all or close to all of their objectives that they set out, and they're looking to continue working for the Terra Luna Classic community going into Quarter 2, and they added some great clarifications from that original. Now, the first great clarification that we can see right here is that the L1 Task Force will seek to work with an L2 team to develop Classic Station. Now this would be dependent on a separate governance proposal to come at a later date. So by voting yes on this proposal, you are not agreeing to compensate them to work on this Classic Station. They're just signaling that that is something they want to do in the future. And this would allow them to provide high demand features such as an on-ramp capability where you could go ahead and use either your credit card, a bank account, all these different opportunities to actually buy straight into Terra Luna Classic instead of having to go through Binance or one of those other exchanges to be able to get your Terra Luna Classic. You can get it straight on this station application. Now the team is another major revision that we have had. The Quarter 2 team would consist of Superman, Till or Frag, a new senior developer, and this is because we have had Zardar no longer wish to continue working, Vin and 2 junior developers, and will be managed by LUNC Army. And as they're looking for that replacement for Zardar, TGF and LUNC Army will accept different recommendations and review that to try and find a replacement for Zardar. Now when we compare the Quarter 2 activities to the other original proposal, you can see that there's a lot of similarities in here, but there are a couple key differences. The main one I want to highlight for you guys is that in June, they had planned to work on establishing a L1 dojo. This was something that Zardar wanted to pursue. It's basically a training mechanism for different developers who wanted to join the team in the future. They've decided this is not something that they want to pursue anymore, so that's something that's been removed. But a lot of these other things are pretty much the same, except for the budget, which is the next thing I want to talk about. So the original budget, here's the original request for budget. You can see Zardar coming in about 13.5 thousand, and these other ones about 6.88 and then 1.25. When we compare that to the new budget, you can see that everyone pretty much has got to drop except for the junior developers. So you can see the replacement for Zardar is going to be a little bit lower at 12.5, and then everyone else is going to come in at 6.25. LUNC Army is going to go down to 5,000 instead of this proposal over here at about 6.88. So he's taking about $1,800 cut, and then these junior devs come in at 1.25, which is the exact same as the original proposal. By the way, if you appreciate this reporting, make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss another video just like this. The operating expense budget has remained the same. There are no changes there. In the total budget request, you can see right now with the revised version, the total budget is going to come out to be about $125,000 compared to the previous version coming in about $140,000. So definitely a nice saving for the Terra Luna Classic community, about $15,000 off. They also added in this section glossary of terms. So if you're looking at the work that they're going to be accomplishing, if you're going through this list up here, you're a little bit confused as to what these different things actually mean. They have some definitions here to help make that a little bit more clear, which will help the community hopefully have a better understanding as to what they're trying to accomplish going forward. Now, I do have to give the team props and a little bit of criticism. They did make changes. They did have a new proposal with amendments with changes based on some community feedback. However, they then only left that up for 1 day before actually putting it up here on Terra Station. I think that's potentially a problem in the sense that they only gave people a day to respond to feedback. So maybe people saw the changes and said, this is a great first change for first revision, but maybe we need a couple more revisions to go ahead before the proposal is done. They didn't really give the community a great opportunity to do that, but I am glad that they listened to the community and are willing to make changes. And since this is all happening so fast, I'm still trying to finalize my decision as to how I feel about this proposal, because again, there is an alternative proposal here as well that essentially has a totally different dev team. You can see some of these members, Bill Baggins, and some other individuals here, Jacob Gaddikin, someone that you probably recognize back from some drama a couple months ago, but you have different developers on this other team. So we have two options here. We have different options, and I need some time, and I think we all need some time to review these different proposals and come up with a conclusion. But I believe that if we can get dev team, right? We have two options of different dev teams. I think that if we can get dev team going forward to help continue move the Terra Luna Classic community closer to parity, that way we can achieve parity hopefully in Q2. That's going to be so great to the value of Terra Luna Classic, just like other things that can help the value of Terra Luna Classic, like burning down the total supply. You can see we are coming in very close to 53 billion total Terra Luna Classic burn, and this has helped in large part by Cremation Coin, which this past week alone, just this past week, has burned over 30 million total Terra Luna Classic, bringing this one wallet of theirs up to over 300 million Terra Luna Classic burn in just a couple months. They've been able to actually accomplish these massive burns of Terra Luna Classic on a weekly basis due to the fact that they have a transaction tax on every transaction where you're buying or selling their cryptocurrency, and then that is getting funneled back, a portion of that is getting funneled back to support the Terra Luna Classic burns. And they have some exciting news coming up. They're actually doing an Ethereum launch. So if you want to get involved with Cremation Coin, and maybe you're not the biggest fan of the Binance Smart Chain, so you're not buying into their Binance Smart Chain version, you could buy into the Ethereum version, because both are going to run at the same time. Both the Binance Smart Chain version and the Ethereum version will both be live, they'll both be active. It really comes down to your preference as to how you would prefer to help support the Terra Luna Classic community, whether you prefer the Binance Smart Chain or the Ethereum network. Both are great options, and this pre-sale goes live here just under 1 day. So make sure you guys do your own research. Make sure you guys look into this, because this is a massive burner of Terra Luna Classic, a massive supporter of the Terra Luna Classic community, and you don't want to miss out on your opportunity to research this cryptocurrency while they're in the pre-sale. I'll have the link to both the pre-sale and the website down below. That way you guys can go ahead, check out this project, and see if there's something that you want to be involved in.